Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're looking right now live at Dallas, where temperatures are in the low 70s and still a very nice evening, I think, overall. But we do have some storms in the area and could see some heavy rain. And what about severe storms? Well, Dr. Greg Forbes is going to join us now for an update on these storms. Dr. Forbes.
And Kim, there's a storm that has a severe thunderstorm warning on that will be coming into the northern suburbs of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex over the next hour and a half, 2 hours. The May weekend. That's certainly what we hope. Here it is right now, off to the north-northwest of Fort Worth, heading off toward the east-southeast. So that would take it into the far northern suburbs of the Dallas area. Capable of some 1-inch hail. Montague County, Wise County at the moment have that severe thunderstorm warning. Could have some damaging wind gusts with that also. It's north of the Decatur area. Here's the timing for that particular storm. At the rate it's going now, 25 to 30 miles per hour. Probably would get to the Denton area about 9:13 Central Time. McKinney a little bit before 10 o'clock, though. It may weaken. It's showing some signs of weakening. It's running along a frontal zone. You can see that by the shades here. The reds are the warmer temperatures, the bluer shades. So even a wind collision zone there along the front that this storm is running along. So it's going to continue off to the east. Earlier we had some severe thunderstorms in the warm air in parts of Florida. Now, we've had one report of hail today. Going into today, we had only had 5 for the year. So we're below the record. We're at a record low pace. 9 for 1958 was the previous record low. The average, 716. So look how far we are below average. And some years have had 1,500 hail reports by this time of the year. So Dallas, Fort Worth, the northern suburbs, you could get some hail tonight, but boy, it still is awfully quiet for this time of year. A couple other severe thunderstorms north of Roswell in New Mexico could also be giving some hail. Let's go back now to Kim.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Forbes, and we're going to get you through the next 7 days and get you into the first week of spring and find out if there's any kind of severe weather outbreak expected. But first, we have to get through Winter Storm Ultima on the first day of spring. It is ironic, isn't it? New York City, Philadelphia will all see snow tomorrow. Hartford, Providence, D.C. will see a little bit. So get ready for it. It's going to be a wet, slushy snow. The Tennessee Turnpike, the New York Thruway, all dealing with snow from our winter storm. Farther south, though, along a stationary boundary, it is going to be rain. It's going to be more storms in and around the Dallas area for Houston and all the way over towards Jackson, Mississippi. Pacific Northwest, how about some rain for a couple of days? We're going to see that even into Saturday. So the pattern, somewhat quiet. I mean, not bad in Atlanta, 75 degrees on Saturday, but don't get too used to that because area of low pressure will develop along our front and spread eastward, and it's going to bring that rain Sunday right into Atlanta, dropping our temperature to 60 degrees. And by the way, check this out. From Boston to New York City, all the way to D.C., Sunday is much quieter, but it's colder. We've got some colder air coming in as well. So a little change in temperature, and those temperatures will be below average Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the Northeast. So get rid of the snow. The temperatures will be cold, but still warm enough to melt that snowfall. All right, 64 in Atlanta with rain on Monday. What about Tuesday? Tuesday much better, and I'm telling you right now, at this point, looking at the computer models and our forecast, we're not expecting any kind of a severe weather event as we get into the first week of spring. Minneapolis, 44 degrees. Some showers heading towards Chicago possibly on Wednesday as that cold front begins to march east. We'll keep an eye on this, though, okay? By midweek, we may be looking at some thunderstorms. Dallas, possibly an isolated chance for you. On the back side of it, it's going to be some snow. So a good old-fashioned spring storm moving east looks like by midweek of next week. We'll keep an eye on this. Alex?
All right, well, one spot that has certainly seen its fair share of the snow this winter, that would be Boston. Right now sitting at 31 degrees, partly cloudy skies. A really quiet night here for us tonight, and I'm sure many of us wondering what's going to be happening with Winter Storm Ultima and the impacts we may find in Boston. Well, here's your forecast as we move through tomorrow into Saturday. Notice cloudy skies through the afternoon and early evening, but once we get by around 7 o'clock-ish, we see a few snow showers out there, and that'll linger through about 11 o'clock midnight-ish. But it's just light snow showers, at least for Boston. Let's time it out. This is 4 o'clock in the morning now for our Friday. Most of the precipitation in the mid-Atlantic starts to really get going here across central PA, spreading now into southern New England around New York City. 1, 2 o'clock seeing that snow, and then by the time we get into the late afternoon, early evening, we start to see a few light snow showers filtering now into the Boston area, but it all very light, talking only about an inch south and east of the city. Special report on Altima continues next.
25,000 mornings, give or take, is all we humans get. We spend them on treadmills, we spend them in traffic, and if we get lucky, really lucky, it dawns on us to go spend them in a world where a simple sunrise can still be magic. 25,000 mornings. Make sure some of them are pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Monday, the brightest kids in America compete in the nation's premier science fair. Sam Champion is live from the White House, Monday on AMHQ.
But now, let's put this out here.
I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this, Sam.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Clear to partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Right now, buy 3 Firestone Destination LE2 or Affinity Touring tires and get 1 free at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow. For most people, earning cash back ends here at the purchase. But the City Double Cash Card doesn't end there. It lets you earn cash back when you buy and again as you pay. That's cash back twice. It's cash back with a side of cash back. The City Double Cash Card, the only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Nice morning, Scott.
Hi. At a morning of tiny voices crying out, feed us.
I don't understand.
Your grass, man. It's a living, breathing thing. It's hungry, and you've got to feed it with Scott's Turf Builder. Attaboy, Mikey. 2 feedings now in the springtime. Strengthens and helps protect your lawn from future problems. Get Scott's Turf Builder lawn food. It's guaranteed. Feed your lawn. Feed it.
And to keep crabgrass away all season long, get Scott's Turf Builder with Halt's Crab.
The kids knew that I had a problem. I tried to make light of it for myself. Denial. I tried to say, oh, I'm not the only one that drinks like this. And that moment of clarity when I had hit bottom and realized that something had to be done, with that moment of clarity, I realized I've lost some good years with them. I've lost some time that I can't get back. And I don't want to give away any more time.
What are your neighbors doing? Oh, are they gyrating? Yeah? Yeah. That's the no rain dance. They don't have Xfinity, so bad weather interferes with their satellite service. The no rain dance? Wow. You should see them on game days. It looks like fun. It's not.
Don't settle for outdated satellite. Get reliable TV service rain or shine with Xfinity.
Sunday.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Well, good evening, Baltimore. How about temperatures in the 40s right now? Not a bad evening. We're going to expect, though, some wintry weather to move in, and you're going to wonder, really, the first day of spring? All right, so let's take a look now at our forecast. We're going to show you what's happening with Winter Storm Ultima as it's developing now, and will bring snow to some of you in the Northeast. Carl Parker is joining me here in the lab to talk about this winter storm. And Carl, again, we talked about it being the first day of spring, but you were mentioning earlier it's not that unusual to get. I mean, the spring storms sometimes bring snow, so it's not unusual.
We've had some of our very worst snowstorms in history in spring. The superstorm was March 12th and 13th, 1993. I was in that. It was amazing. And our average for a lot of cities is around the end of March, March 25th in Boston. So it's not at all unusual. We're going to begin with the sun, that big glowing thing in the sky.
Didn't see much of it today.
No, we did not see much of it today. And, you know, what happens between winter and spring is, of course, during winter, the Earth's axis is tilted away from the sun, so we get more insolation in the southern hemisphere as opposed to the northern hemisphere. But then, right around the equinox, which is tomorrow, we see that angle changing. There's the low sun angle, and of course, when you've got snow on the ground, it tends to stay. But by the time we get to the equinox, then you've got an equal amount of sun coming into the northern and southern hemisphere. So there's a much higher sun angle. And so even as you mentioned earlier, even when you've got clouds, you've still got solar radiation getting through those clouds. And especially on the black surfaces like asphalt, it's really tough to get snow to stick unless the snowfall rates are really heavy, which is why we think the impacts are probably not going to be spectacular tomorrow. Although it is going to be happening during rush hour, so it's not going to help.
No,
certainly, yeah. So we think the snow is going to melt pretty quickly, and in fact, it's probably going to be melting as it's coming down. But I also want to talk to you a little bit about the pattern. And so here's the pattern today, and we've been talking a lot in recent weeks about this RRR. Yeah, it is.
I did earlier for you guys.
The ridiculously resilient ridge. It's actually been termed that, and you know, it keeps bouncing back there in western North America. And when it bounces back, we see a dip in the jet stream in the Northeast, and it keeps happening. And so here's today, and then here's the next cold wave coming in Sunday, Monday, and then going into next week, another cold wave comes in after that. So it just does not want to go away, even when the models hint that maybe it's going to kind of ease up a little bit. Then lo and behold, we get closer and it ends up kind of bouncing back. It's been really, really stubborn. So it looks like at least for the next 10 days, we're going to continue to be in the colder weather. But it's not so cold at this time of the year, and again, that's because of that sun angle. So in D.C., you see what's happening with the temperatures there. That's good news. I mean, upper 30s, that's going to be okay, I think. You know, it's going to be a nuisance, and maybe if the snowfall rates are really heavy, it starts to accumulate a little bit. But I think for the most part, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal in D.C. in particular. So there's a look at the snowfall totals farther north and west, well out on 270 up into Martinsburg, 4 inches there. In the D.C. proper area, it's not going to be a lot south and east of town. That's PG, Anne Arundel County, getting very little, maybe a few inches in Columbia, but we'll get a little bit more in northern Montgomery and also up into Howard County. And here's a look at the water vapor picture. And our system is way up there now, but it's going to drop on in tomorrow, and then the snow begins to break out tomorrow morning, and we will talk more about that coming up at the top of the hour.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Carl. Back to you, Alex.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Well, take a look at this. Got to look a little closely here. You're actually seeing volcanic lightning in action. There it is. You see it? It's tough. But yes, stunning phenomenon. There it is in just picture form. It's a stunning phenomenon no matter how many times you get to see it happening. Now, when volcanoes erupt, well, they shoot up electrically charged material up into the atmosphere, causing that lightning to occur there. What a crazy sight. Well, this occurrence in Kyushu, Japan. Wow. All right, well, let's make it back stateside and talk about how things are faring for us in D.C. Quiet right now. We're sitting with quiet skies, but we're going to see that changing as we work our way on through the next couple of days. In fact, as we move into tonight, moisture spreading its way on in. And then as temperatures drop a little bit, we'll mix in a little bit of snow heading towards the morning commute. So be on the lookout for that. We should eventually switch over to some rain as we head into the late morning hours, and generally in and around the D.C. area, accumulations should be generally to the north and west of the city. You can see where some of the higher totals will be up into Pennsylvania. So again, D.C. itself not calling for much accumulation, but Frederick, Martinsburg, those will be some areas that could see 4 inches of that snow coming down, all thanks to Winter Storm Ultima. Baltimore for you, looking at a couple of inches there. Our special report continues next.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Clear to partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, Winter Storm Ultima has been named. Up to 5 inches of snow heading towards the northeast now, and well, New York, Philly, D.C., and even Boston, too. We're talking over 30 million people right now under winter alerts. Good evening to you. I'm Alex Wallace.
And I'm Kim Cunningham. Get this, it's just, well, hours now from the start of spring. Amazing. Tomorrow will be the first day. We're talking 22 hours, looks like right now. And it looks like we're going to see some areas picking up snow. As a matter of fact, we've already got some brine being spread here on some of the interstates here in Pennsylvania, and 800 plows are now ready here in New York City.
Well, we look live now across the 95 corridor. New York, Boston, Philly, and D.C. Again, accumulations of up to 5 inches in the region. D.C., you'll start seeing a little bit of that snow as you wake up in the morning. Philly, right around 9 or so in the morning, and then New York City a little bit later as we head towards the noon hours when that wintry weather starts to move on in. And well, we now head to Carl Parker, who is in the lab for the very latest on Winter Storm Ultima.
It has been a very long and cold winter, and I'm sure a lot of people are really, really ready for spring. And is it unusual to get snow into spring? Well, not really. Take a look at the last measurable snowfall, the latest measurable snowfall. There on average in Philly and D.C., March 15th. 20th in New York. So if this happens tomorrow to be the last snowfall, then it would be right on the month. March 25 in Boston. So we're in the vicinity of the latest measurable snowfall. And look at the records there. They go out to the end of April and then May 10th for Boston. So we could conceivably get snow for a very long time yet there in Boston in particular, and certainly so all up and down the 95 corridor. So in D.C. tomorrow, here's the good news. Right in there, look at that. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s. That is really going to help out with the road. So even though the snow is coming down, with temperatures like that, it's going to have a really hard time sticking to the roads. The only way that that would happen is if you get a burst of very heavy snow, and then we can see a little buildup of slushy accumulation. So there is conceivably a way in which we could have some accumulation on the roads, but for the most part, that's probably not going to happen. Nonetheless, it's going to be a more difficult rush hour. Rush hour is always tough there on 66 and 495, the Beltway, and also along 270. So it's certainly going to be something we need to watch for. And there's a look at the snowfall accumulations in the D.C. Metro. Not much at all south and east of 95, a lot more off to the north and to the west. And we're thinking about 2 to 3 there in Baltimore and Columbia. Here's the model forecast. I want you to notice the temperatures. And again, they're going to be well above freezing in D.C. Not so much, though, in the central part of Pennsylvania. And of course, as you get up in elevation, even less so. So that's where there could be really more significant problems on the roads. And then we're going to watch the snow come into Philly into late morning, going to make its way over into New York by the afternoon, and then we'll continue to move up into New England into tomorrow evening, and then it all moves out by tomorrow night. And all the way around, up and down 95, temperatures are going to be above freezing right through this event. So again, that is really going to help out with the roads, as will the very high March sun angle. So that's a look at the total amount of snow that is likely to come down. This larger area is 3 to 5, but then within that, you've got 5 to 8, but we'll probably not see that much snow on the ground because it's going to be melting as fast as it's coming down. So certainly it could slow things down in a number of areas tomorrow. The timing is not great, but the fact that it is going to be warmer and we've got a lot of sun working for us is going to help out. Not a lot of sun in the sky, but a very high sun angle, very strong sun even coming right through those clouds. Kim, over to you.
And Carl, you mentioned temperatures in the 30s. We're going to see that off and on for parts of the Northeast. I'm here to talk about the chill that's going to even be with us as we get into the first week of spring. As a matter of fact, in Philadelphia, tomorrow, the first day of spring, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-30s. But if you go back in time to 2010, we were at 74 degrees. And look at 2012 at 78. So we mentioned that spring is the transition season, so it's not unusual to see those ups and downs this time of the year. New York, the same thing. 34 is the forecast, but again, it is the coldest we have seen in a while. 74 in 2010, 2012, it was 73 degrees. So looking at the forecast, tomorrow we're going to be in the 30s. That's below our average. 15 degrees below the average, by the way, in New York. And we'll be at 40 degrees in Burlington. Wow, warmer up there. And we'll be looking at today, anyway, the pattern being such that jet stream is to our north. We are going to see that jet stream coming back southward over the next couple of days as the next round of cold air comes in. And that's going to keep temperatures below the average for us. We'll get to 51, our average high, on Saturday. But then after that, once that cold front comes through, expect temperatures back to the mid to upper 40s. Not terribly bad, but it is below our average even through midweek. Alex?
All right, thanks, Kim. Well, strong winds in Connecticut yesterday, blowing so hard that, well, this gas station canopy toppled to the ground. I mean, check that out. Wow. Luckily, nobody was standing underneath when the winds ultimately brought it down. Tara Joyce has more from Middletown, Connecticut.
I was going to stop here to get gas, but I guess not now.
Cones and caution tape still sit outside this Middletown Citgo station where strong wind caused a canopy to come crashing down earlier today.
The guy called me around 1:30. He said they start swinging a little bit. I say, okay, I'm on the way.
When owner Hafiz Mirza saw the status of his station, he immediately stopped service. The surveillance video shows why hours later it proved to be the right decision.
I knew it's coming down. You can't stop it.
He shut it down. As soon as he saw it swaying, he shut everything right down, and the electric and everything, so there was never a chance of an explosion or anything.
Middletown's assistant building official says metal fatigue also played a part. He spent the afternoon supervising efforts to secure the section still standing.
If this does collapse tonight, it'll come onto the trailer, not onto the gas pumps. We don't want to risk damaging these two pumps here.
Across the street, drivers looked on in disbelief.
What to you is the craziest thing?
That it's tipped at that angle. It's like there's no forgiveness there.
But really, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. Just a week ago in Wallingford, it was a similar scene, though the cause of this collapse is unclear. In both cases, no injuries were reported, and Mirza says that is all anyone can ask for.
I was worried, about that, but what you can do? That was windy so bad. So the good thing, nobody was around.
Wow, shout out to that gas station owner for taking quick action there. Those winds, they were gusting as high as 50 miles per hour in the area when the canopy collapsed. Service equipment is expected to arrive in the morning to take the damaged canopy away. Kim?
All right, Alex, if you're in the south, chances are, well, rain's on your way. Atlanta, you're already seeing some bleak conditions ahead where you're going to see up to 5 inches of rain and possible flooding. Some of you under flash flood watches as we speak. And how about up to 6 inches of rain in some cases? And here in Charleston, we're looking at the clouds moving in. What a beautiful sight right now, 61 degrees. We'll be looking at rain headed your way. We'll have more on this, plus more on Winter Storm Ultima on our special report coming up.
I'll ride the highway
a story untold.
You just keep sending more pictures.
If you're a free-range chicken, you roam free. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
True Green presents The Yardleys.
Is that a chandelier? Where's the dining room table?
Hi, neighbor.
Hi.
Taking Bruno for a walk?
Good to see you. But they do have a beautiful lawn.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn. Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green, live life outside.
Spicy Super Crunch chicken strips are not your mom's chicken strips.
What about my mom?
I like these chicken strips.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Mom, you have an admirer. She is interested?
Okay. Chicken with a kick. Spicy Super Crunch chicken strips. This is how you Sonic.
Hello, America, and good morning. Temperatures this weekend will reach into the 70s.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Clear to partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sunday. One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later. Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu, serious power.
This program brought to you by Theraflu, serious power.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
I lost 43 pounds.
New Hydroxycut Gummies. A fun and delicious way to lose weight. America's #1 weight loss brand. Lose weight your way. Bring on the fire.
Welcome back to our special report on Winter Storm Altima. Now we look south where Altima not going to have an impact on us. We'll focus on that in just a second. But rain, that has been the issue for us as we look at the top of the world of the Coca-Cola World headquarters in Atlanta, where we're sitting in the upper 40s. It's been a dreary, drizzly time. Tomorrow, well, we'll see some clouds around. Can't rule out a chance of a shower or two out there, but the temperatures will start to warm up. Charleston, that's another area. Wet weather in store. In fact, we're dealing with that right now. Rain is sort of making that lens look a little bit on the sort of weird side. Well, that's because we're dealing with that rain. Temperatures right now in the lower 60s. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Wet, soggy conditions, and this is something that we'll have to contend with through the end of the weekend. Even the potential for more rain as we head into the weekend. All right, let's talk about what's happening there now. There's the radar showing you some of those showers. There's Charleston seeing some of that right now. That will continue to spread on off towards the east, trying to work north and westbound towards Columbia. You'll run into some of those showers. Not heavy rain, but enough that it's certainly a bit of a nuisance. And this is something we'll deal with throughout the night, spreading its way up through North Carolina as well. Overnight period, if you're traveling, you'll be running through that. Even into the morning. morning hours. Now, as we get towards the afternoon, notice most of the Carolinas into Georgia, we're dry now. It's mostly now the Outer Banks having to deal with some of that rain, but even that will continue to scoot on off towards the east, and we'll see a drier second half to our Friday. So Charleston into tomorrow morning, we've got the showers that'll continue out there. Look at those temperatures. They're not budging a whole lot. Low 60s is generally what we'll find. By the time we get into the morning, late rush hour should be a much drier time with cloudy skies. So that's the system that'll pull away. That's actually what's going to be instigating our winter storm Ultima that'll move up the northeast coast. But then we look towards the southwest. That's the next system that'll impact us, and Houston will be one of those spots dealing with the issues. Tomorrow afternoon, we've got some storm potential there. High is about 81 degrees. And then Saturday and even into Sunday morning, maybe getting out to church on Sunday, you may be ducking and dodging a bit of rain. So more unsettled weather to deal with here right along the Gulf Coast. It won't just be Houston, but spreading its way east as the weekend progresses. Kim?
And we're going to go ahead and take a live look now at Houston, Texas, where we're expecting scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, as Alex showed us. Highs in the low 80s, and rain's going to stick around through the weekend with highs in the 70s. So expected 71 degrees right now. And another city in Texas expecting maybe some showers and thunderstorms is Dallas. And right now we're looking at the radar, and notice to our northwest something we haven't seen in a while. A severe thunderstorm warning that may be approaching the northern suburbs of Dallas. So right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, as you can see here, just to the east of Decatur. This is if you're in Montague or Wise County under that warning. This is moving off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. The threat with this is going to be strong winds, maybe 60-mile-per-hour winds, especially how you kind of see this bowing out a little bit, and maybe some hail as well. So please be prepared for this. Let's talk about the weekend rainmaker we're going to see across the area, including Dallas. Through the weekend, we're going to see that potential again. We have that stalled front across the south. We've got moisture coming up from the south over that front, and that is going to mean, well, some cloudy skies and some rain off and on, and the potential for some heavy rain as well. Area of low pressure does develop by Sunday. That'll begin to move along this front, and we'll see showers and storms continuing all the way into, looks like Sunday for some of us. So tomorrow, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, look at the potential for thunderstorms. We'll see that into Saturday as well. Jackson, Mississippi. Sunday, now it gets into Georgia, into the Carolinas again, even northern Florida. Vacationers here along the Emerald Coast, or maybe here in Biloxi, having some fun there. Looking at showers and storms as well, and traveling 75 through Georgia can be really a mess. How much? How about 3 to 5 inches in parts of Texas? So please be careful there. We'll have more on the potential coming up, but right now in D.C., we're going to get you updated on Winter Storm Ultima with a special report and how much snow we're going to see.
Toenail fungus? Don't hide it. Tackle it with FDA-approved Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor. Once applied, Jublia gets to the site of infection by going under, around, and through the nail. Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Tackle it. Ask your doctor now if Jublia is right for you.
When you're hungry for the craveable taste of tender fish and shrimp, nothing's better than Long John Silver's. Now, for a limited time, enjoy our new crispy golden fish and shrimp basket for just $3.99 at Long John Silver's.
Sunday dinners at my house.
You're waiting for my lasagna, aren't you?
It's a full day for me, and I love it. But when I started having back pain, my sister had to come help. I don't like asking for help. I took Tylenol, but I had to take 6 pills to get through the day. So my daughter brought over some Aleve. It's just 2 pills all day. And now,
to family,
I'm back.
Aleve, 2 pills, all day strong, all day long. And now, introducing Aleve PM for a better AM.
What's this?
A box. It takes worn-out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
I've got a to-do list and 5 acres of fresh air.
Happiness is a drive over Moordick.
That's how we run. And nothing runs like a deer.
Now, let's put this out here.
I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this, Sam.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Monday, the brightest kids in America compete in the nation's premier science fair. Sam Champion is live from the White House, Monday on AMHQ.
This is a giant 2020. We made it huge to match the news. During the Rooms to Go anniversary sale, you can finance your great-looking new furniture until January 2020 with no interest, zero. Not 1 penny of interest until January 2020. That's on top of all the great Rooms to Go anniversary sale savings. You got that? Big anniversary savings, 2020 interest-free financing. No tricks or gimmicks. Sounds to me like a road trip to the Rooms to Go anniversary sale is in order.
One look at that Red Baron pizza, and you're gonna love it from the first bite to the last. Because a perfect pizza requires a perfect crust. The sauce commands your attention. The cheese begs you to savor every bite. The pepperoni declares you have reached pizza nirvana. And that last slice?
What's it worth to you?
A perfect crust means a better pizza. Red Baron, love at first bite. Pick up a pizza you can call your own. Red Baron Singles.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8, brought to you by Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Explore more at tourksc.com.
Before space stations, before moonwalks, we lit that candle and shot to the stars. Walk among our most powerful creations at the Rocket Garden, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Clear to partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to our special report on Winter Storm Altima, and one of the areas dealing with a little bit of light snow, or has been, that would be Blacksburg, Virginia, the campus of Virginia Tech here for us. Actually, the light snow been reported here since late this afternoon, but we have now finally switched over to rain. Some of that rain, though, will be continuing tomorrow with those highs getting up into the 50s. Kim?
Well, we continue to hope for rain in some parts of the country. We're going to get you updated with the latest on our drought monitor. In California, we'll love to get that rain and snow that other parts of the country has been getting. Wells are drying up as the state's epic drought enters its 4th year. And Governor Jerry Brown joined lawmakers today in proposing a $1 billion emergency relief plan for what they call a water crisis.
With climate change and global warming, there will be more extreme weather events. An extreme weather event is you get drought, and then all of a sudden, massive storms that flood through these channels and overflow and cause havoc. So to remedy that, we do have bond money, but it takes years and years. So we're accelerating that. We're, as they say, taking advantage of the crisis and moving forward.
Now, one alternative to the high price of importing water involves an interesting technological advancement. The Weather Channel's Dave Malkoff visited the nearly completed desalination plant that could produce 50 million gallons of water for California each day. But at what cost?
This is what a historic drought looks like on the California coast.
It's been extremely hot and dry here in San Diego in the last few months.
Even with all this blue, California is deep in the red areas being exceptional drought. Look at the state this month and compare it to last March. Last year, this year, fresh water is becoming hard to find. In San Diego County, they're cutting a pipeline directly from the surfing waves to here.
Ocean water is going to go right into the intake you see behind me.
It all leads to what will become the largest desalination plant in the Western Hemisphere. These tanks will soon take in ocean water and remove the salt. So in the past, this has always been too expensive to do. It's $1 billion to build this. How is that cost effective?
Correct. Shortly here, desalinated water will be less expensive than imported water because desal is a fixed price for 30 years.
Millions of Californians have become so desperate for water, they're willing to see a $5 charge from this plant every single month. Yet all of this produces less than 10% of the water thirsty San Diego County needs.
But it's a small price to pay because the alternative is no water at all.
It's these 16,000 filter tubes that take the saltiness out of the Pacific Ocean. Look at a close-up cross-section. It's the same as the filter you may have in your sink or in your refrigerator right now. Salty water in, drinking water out.
It takes 30 minutes from the moment it's in the ocean until it could be in your glass at the end of the process.
And now more than ever, water in your glass is worth more than an entire ocean of beautiful salt water. There are several similar projects coming down the pipeline along the West Coast and Gulf Coast in the next few years, so all eyes will be right here when the first drinking water comes out of the ocean at the end of 2015. In Carlsbad, California, Dave Malkoff, The Weather Channel.
Wow, you may be wondering, that's California's problem.
Right.
Well, not the case. They produce a lot of things that we consume across the entire country. In fact, look at the list. The #1 producer in the nation, these are all of the different things that they produce, including garlic, grapes, you name it.
I'm speechless. I had no idea. I mean, this is amazing. Rice, plums, look at this, tomatoes, chili peppers, pistachios, by the way. This is about the only place in the States that we can grow pistachios.
Yeah, exactly. All these items. So you're wondering why it's not just California's problem, it is all of our problems.
It sure is. Right now, let's take a live look at New York City, and we're live tonight because of Winter Storm Ultima that's heading towards you. We'll get an update on what you can expect coming up right after this.
So if I gave you a Bud Light, are you up for whatever happens next?
Yeah.
Check it out.
The perfect beer for stepping outside for some old school fun. My goodness.
There's nothing more romantic than a spontaneous moment, so why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
Did you know? Fresh Step Extreme Lightweight Litter isn't just light. It's also the best lightweight for eliminating odors. Amazing, right? For superior odor elimination, try Fresh Step Extreme. Lightweight.
At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Simply type in a name and follow the Ancestry leaf far into your family's past. A past filled with stories that intrigue and inspire. And in doing so, reveal the one unique, improbable, and completely remarkable path that led to you. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
It tastes better when you grow it. It tastes even better when you share it. It's not hard. It's doable. It's growable. Get going with Growables. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
Where do you
think the strongest muscles in your body are? Abs? Biceps? They're in your eyes. But using a computer can strain them, causing headaches. Now, think about this. Your eye doctor has new technology to combat that. Isn't it time you thought about seeing an eye doctor yearly? Find a Think About Your Eyes doctor near you at thinkaboutyoureyes.com and keep those muscles feeling fit.
My son is dating an employee. And my daughter, the princess, is behaving like a common... You're welcome.
Long live the king.
The Royals. Brand new Sundays at 10. Only on E!
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Clear to partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sunday.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back, everyone. Winter storm Ultima is heading towards the northeast right now, beginning to develop, bringing up to 5 inches of snow to the I-95 corridor tomorrow.
Yep, for the very latest on the storm, let's head on over to Carl Parker, who is in the lab. And Carl, Ultima, Latin, and it's the feminine version of Ultimus, which means last or final, and I'm sure many are hoping this will be the last winter storm.
I'm sure a lot of people are. It's been a very long, cold winter with a lot of snow for many areas, and we've been teased with some warm weather now. And so now the question is this unusual to have snow lasting into spring? And the answer is that it's not very unusual at all. When we look at the average date of the latest measurable snowfall, it is March 15th in Philly and D.C., March 20th in New York. If this is the last one, then it would be right on the money. And in Boston, it is March 25th. And look at the record latest snowfalls. Late April in New York, Philly, and D.C., May 10th in Boston. So we could get snow even a lot later than this. So here's the forecast in D.C., and here are the really important numbers for tomorrow morning. Temperatures are going to be well above freezing in the upper 30s. That's really going to help out with the roads. So most likely the roads are going to be wet and not much more than that unless we get really hefty snowfall rates, which is possible. It could really come down from time to time, in which case we'd see more of a slushy accumulation on some of the roads there. Not much going on south of D.C., north, south, and east of 95. Very little, if any, accumulation in Anne Arundel, PG counties, mostly up into Montgomery and Howard counties, certainly up 270 there into northern Maryland. And here's the model forecast, and you can pay attention to the temperatures. So again, we're well above freezing there in D.C., not in central Pennsylvania, and certainly not in the higher elevations. So that's where the roads really could be very messy. I'd be concerned about that in Harrisburg and getting up the 81 corridor as well into Wilkes-Barre and Scranton. 34 degrees in Philly, the snow coming in after the rush hour tomorrow. At that time, it's going to be changing over to rain in the D.C. metro. It will remain rain into the early afternoon, and the snow is going to come into the New York City metro early in the afternoon. And again, temperatures are going to be just above freezing, but you're also going to have a very high sun angle at that time. So even though it's cloudy, that strong March sun is going to be working on the black roads and really helping to melt that snow. So for the most part, we think the roads are going to be wet. And again, the caveat is that if we do see very hefty snowfall rates, that can overwhelm those factors, that high sun angle and those warmer temperatures. Snow then lingering into the evening and then moving out by late tomorrow. So there's a look at the amount of snow that's going to come down. We're probably not going to see that on the ground because it will be melting pretty quickly, but that's how much is going to come down. In the Philly metro, it's going to be about 4 to 5 most likely, and the timing there in New York, early afternoon, going right through the evening, temperatures above freezing all the way through, and the accumulations in New York around 4 to 5 inches in total. Kim, over to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. We're going to look live right now in Philadelphia, where we're anticipating some snow. Right now, they're 43 degrees, and what a beautiful, beautiful image we have right now of Center City. And we're looking at the potential of 3 to 5 inches, and it's going to be slushy tomorrow. So hopefully just to get the car washed today, because tomorrow it's going to be a mess. So look at our forecast for tomorrow morning. If you're traveling early, you're doing good. Once you get to late morning into lunchtime, then we're going to see the chance for snow, and then by the evening commute we change over maybe to rain. So earlier the better. Once you get to lunch, you're talking about the snow. It could be accumulating. If it comes down quickly at times, it's very possible the roads could get a little slushy or a little slick. And then, but it looks like by the evening, just plain old rain. And maybe by Saturday morning, it's all gone. What about here in Boston? Well, we're going to see a little bit of snow. Let's show you right now what it looks like in Boston before you show you this forecast. We're looking at conditions in Boston to actually not be as bad as our neighbors to the south. Right now it's 32, so it's cold. However, tomorrow, most of the moisture will stay south of us to where we won't see as much accumulation. We will get some snow. Again, our forecast comes in during the evening hours. We're going to see that. During the day, we're fine. The commute home on 495, though, you may be looking at the potential of some snow, possibly a ½ inch, but I think the heaviest will be south of you. Alex?
Well, you know, none of that in the south. In fact, parts of the southeast, just talking about getting soaked. And, well, it's just the beginning. We're talking about a couple of rounds of rain moving in tomorrow and then over the weekend. Our Reynolds Wolf spent the day in the rain, filing this report from the Volunteer State.
Yes, I'm coming to you from soggy Chattanooga. To be more specific, right along the side of the Tennessee River and the River Launch, where we've seen the showers launch their way right through here, all the way to Lookout Mountain over to Missionary Ridge. It's overcast. The rain has been sporadic. We've seen a few birds fly by, but really the big story has been other stuff in the air, those pesky raindrops. Morning commute has been tough for a lot of people. I'll tell you, as we ease into this afternoon hours and into the evening, you're going to see more of the rain. Now, we do expect more of a let-up in the forecast as we get into tomorrow. Cloudy skies, but not much in terms of precipitation. But wait. Saturday is going to be spectacular because we expect temperatures to go up to about 72 degrees, mostly sunny skies, so a great payoff. But enjoy it while you can, because when you get into Sunday and Monday, more clouds and with it a chance of rain right back in the picture. That's the story, though, that we have for you in Chattanooga. Rain coming down, but all eyes looking towards the weekend and sunnier times. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Reynolds. Well, we look live now at Atlanta, Georgia. This is from atop the Coca-Cola World headquarters, sitting at 49 degrees. Still very dreary looking. Clouds hanging low. It's been the case all day long. Haven't been dealing with heavy rain throughout the day, but just that light drizzle that's been in place out there for us. Now, as we head into our Saturday night, could see some rain coming in into even Monday. Potential for ½ an inch to even an inch of rain in and around the Atlanta area. It's not just Atlanta, but across a good chunk of the south. Unsettled weather is expected for us as we head on into our weekend. Now let's focus in on Atlanta, because this month has been a bit on the sort of dreary side. We've seen a couple of spectacular days, but we've also seen some dreary times. Check it out. 13 of the 19 days this month, we've seen at least a trace of rain. So we're talking approaching 70% of the days this month with rain. But even with that, we're still almost 2 inches below our average for the month. That's because we haven't been talking about heavy rains. It's been sort of nickel and dime shower activity over the last several days. But here's what we'll see as we head into tomorrow. We've got this boundary stuck in place, stationary front, because that's what it will be, stationary, not moving much at all. But it'll be the focus for showers and even a few storms as we get a bit of moisture moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. That will be one of the necessary ingredients for the rain. You get that moisture lifted up by that boundary, and that helps us increase our chances. Now, as we head into Sunday, an area of low pressure develops right along that front, and that'll begin to work its way east, and we'll finally start to see some movement of the precipitation from portions of Texas and the lower Mississippi Valley into the southeast. So we started off tomorrow dry for a good chunk of Alabama and Georgia, while the rain will be back to the west, and that'll linger a bit even into Saturday. So some of the same areas tomorrow will be looking for the rain on Saturday. Then there's that shift as that area of low pressure develops and now moves its way east. So now the Carolinas, north sections of Florida, and along the Gulf Coast sees that rain. How much? This goes through our Monday in most areas, generally in that 1 to 2 inch range, but some pockets of some heavier rain, Louisiana into eastern Texas. 2 to 3 inches possible there, and that bullseye in central Texas of 3 to 5 inches, that'll be possible there. Kim?
Well, it looks like snow is possible here in New York City. Let's show you what we're looking at live right now in New York City. And as you can see here at Times Square, folks are out and about, and it's pretty calm right now. And we're going to be looking at the potential for snow to move into your area. As a matter of fact, let's show you what our forecast is going to look like here in New York. 1 o'clock tomorrow, here comes the snow. So we're good till about lunchtime, and then the snow moves in for that afternoon commute home. The LIE could be looking at some problems as well. Some areas picking up maybe 5 inches of snow. Here's the timing on this. It gets into New York after lunchtime, and then again it'll be with us through the evening commute and should be tapering off later that evening. You could see 6 p.m. still there, and we could see pockets of heavy bursts of snow off and on in some areas. So 5 inches expected. This is through Friday night. There'll be a slushy, wet snow, and some roads could be slick. So please be careful. We'll have more on this as it heads north here through Friday. 3 inches in Danbury, Bridgeport at 4 inches. Islip will pick up 5 inches as well.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Not all toothbrushes are created equal. Oral-B toothbrushes are engineered with end-rounded bristles so brushing doesn't scratch gums, and angled perfectly to remove 90% of plaque for a healthier smile. Trust the brand more dentists and hygienists use. Oral-B.
Life isn't measured in how many days we have, but what we do with them. This year you could do what you've always done. Or you could awaken your senses and connect with the world as it was meant to be. That voice inside you, that's Alaska calling. Because vacations, like days, are measured by what we do with them. And here, the days last forever. Begin your adventure at AlaskaBeyondYourDreams.com.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. Now available over the counter in full prescription strength. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. Flonase, the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 allergy pill. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase, 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
No wind, no rain can keep these guys away from you. Because when severe weather breaks out,
we saw houses obliterated.
Devastation here. It's just ridiculous. The First Response Team of America storms in.
Our mission is pretty straightforward. Get to a storm site quickly and start helping survivors immediately.
Thank you!
Buckle up and follow the team all winter long on the Weather Channel and weather.com/responders. The First Response Team of America, powered by Ram, the official truck of the Road to Recovery.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need Safelite to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh, yeah, we can fix that. Only Safelite can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind True Seal technology for a reliable bond.
Thanks so much.
Service that fits your schedule.
Hey.
That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
I've had it with my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. The frustration, covering up. So I talked with my doctor. He prescribed Enbrel. Enbrel is clinically proven to provide clearer skin. Many people saw 75% clearance in 3 months, and Enbrel helped keep skin clearer at 6 months.
Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Before starting Enbrel, your doctor should test you for tuberculosis and discuss whether you've been to a region where certain fungal infections are common. You should not start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu. Tell your doctor if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have symptoms such as persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness.
Finally, clearer skin for more than a few days, weeks, or months. Enbrel works for me. Ask your dermatologist if you can have clearer skin with Enbrel.
Introducing Ring, the world's most advanced doorbell.
Hello? Delivery for Aaron Parker? Thanks, you can leave it at the door.
Ring streams HD video and audio to smartphones and tablets. With dual power options, you can install Ring in just minutes. And Ring's real-time motion alerts are the perfect way to monitor your home. Convenience, monitoring, security. Order your Ring video doorbell today at ring.com.
Where we are checking in on Philadelphia, one of the spots that's going to be impacted by Winter Storm Ultima right now, 43 degrees. Got some clouds out there for you. We'll see that moisture begin to swing its way on in, and as it does so, well, maybe coming down in the form of some of that wintry weather. In fact, let's take you through it and show you how to all play out as we head on into tomorrow now. Morning, we should be okay. Now, late morning towards the afternoon, lunchtime, that's when we start to see some of the snow coming down, and that'll be with us for several hours. We're talking about at least through the evening rush hour, so be on the lookout for that. Now, temperatures should generally be warm enough that we don't anticipate any major issues on the roads, but if it starts to come down quickly enough, could lead to some slushy areas, so we still got to be careful there as we work our way back through the evening hours. There's how it'll play out for the rest of the Northeast. Afternoon, there we go, noon, starting to spread its way up towards even New York City. Central PA, Harrisburg, you'll be seeing some of that snow. And then as we move through the evening hours, working its way up even into parts of New England. Boston, you could see some snowflakes flying around out there, but for the most part, looks like any accumulating snow will be to your south. There is the forecast for accumulation through Saturday afternoon, and the heaviest looks like generally a Long Island and then working your way back down into Pennsylvania. That's where we could see 5 to 8 inches of snow, but for the most part, most areas we're looking at 3 to 5 inches. Philadelphia itself right around 4 inches, a little bit more to the north and west. All right, so that's how things are shaping up with Ultima over the next couple of days. How do we look over the next few? Here's Kim.
Well, Alex, I have good news if you're really sick of the snow. After Ultima, it doesn't really look like we're going to see much in the way of wintry weather. Here we are, the first day of spring tomorrow, and we're dealing with the snow in New York City tomorrow, where we could see 5 inches of it. And then also here in Providence, in Hartford, Boston, the heaviest will stay south of you. Now, you'll see a little bit, but overall, we're looking at Ultima being the last gasp for snow anyway, at least for a little while in the Northeast. So we'll deal with it on Saturday a little bit more for the higher elevations. Then we're going to watch another storm system across the south spread east with time. Saturday, beautiful day in Atlanta, cloudy, but 75 degrees. Now the rain gets in here by Sunday. Now we'll see a little bit of snow coming into the northern plains, and that's along a front as well. That's going to bring some cooler air to the Northeast. We'll see 30s in Boston, 42 in New York City, but drier. Pacific Northwest, it'll be rain. So Monday's forecast, now we're into the first part of the week and dealing with the rain in the southeast. We continue to do that. We dry out in Dallas, so early next week we're doing much better. Chicago, we'll see a little bit of snow coming your way on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're done with it. Now, Tuesday, we're watching our next storm develop. We're starting to see some moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. Notice the temperatures in Dallas, upper 70s. Now, it's possible we might see a few isolated severe storms, especially here in central Missouri. We'll keep an eye on this. And actually, the area of low pressure, the cold air wrapping around it. We're looking at snow on the northern end of this. And again, this is one of those typical spring storms where you get both. You get some storms and you get some snow with it. So it heads to the east on Thursday, but notice how warm we are in New York City and in Boston. This is going to be an all-rain event if this forecast plays out. If the computer model is correct on this, we will be all rain by next week. 77 Atlanta, 62 in Dallas, but drying out in Minneapolis. Alex?
All right, thanks, Kim. Meanwhile, we check in on Boston. And boy, it has been a rough winter, no doubt. Sitting at 30 degrees right now under clear skies. Really a nice night. Chilly, but all in all, not too bad. I'm sure we're all wondering what's going to happen with Ultima making its move in our direction. Well, we're generally going to find ourselves seeing lighter amounts of snow. And here's how it'll all play out for us. As we move into tomorrow, most of the day pretty quiet. It's not until we get into the late afternoon, early evening. That's where we have a chance for some snow, and it'll generally be light. But off towards the south, that's where the heavier snow is expected coming in through tomorrow morning. Pennsylvania, parts of New York State seeing it as we get into the afternoon. New York City, still again dry in Boston, but again late evening, dinner time hour now, we start to see some of those snow showers out there for you lingering through the late night period. How much snow? Boston itself, goose egg, but south, we could see about an inch. Oh, we've got more on Winter Storm Ultima in our special report next.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get special financing for 12 months on purchases of $4.99 or more on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
I don't know what I should do next.
Do what everybody else does. Start a business. Build yourself a website.
Welcome to T.O.'s Humble Pie.
With Wix.com.
Let's party!
We make it easy to create your own all-pro website. All by yourself.
Farve and carve.
You did that yourself?
Don't look so surprised.
Go to Wix.com. Create your website today.
Monday, the brightest kids in America compete in the nation's premier science fair. Sam Champion is live from the White House, Monday on AMHQ.
But now, let's put this out here. I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this, Sam.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When our little girl was born, we got a Subaru. It's where she said her first word. No. Saw her first day of school. Bye-bye. Made a best friend forever. Oh my God. The back seat of my Subaru is where she grew up.
What? The 2015 Subaru Forester.
What?
Built to be there for your family. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You could sit at your computer and read all about zero-turn mowers. Click, scroll, tweet, or you could just sit on a John Deere Z435 Easy Track and feel its power. You'll know it'll get the job done fast. When it's time to pick a mower, you've got to get on one. Visit your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today. Sign up to take your turn on a Z435 and save $100 on your purchase. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Oh.
That detergent was like half the price.
And we'll have to use like double, maybe more.
I'm going back to the store.
Yes, you are.
Dish issues? Get Cascade Complete. 1-pack cleans tough food better than 6 packs of the Bargain brand combined. Cascade, now that's clean.
So Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Do you have any concerns about your health and life? Do you know that new scientific discoveries are extending healthy lifespans right now? Get the latest life-changing free information for your health. Life Extension, leading research since 1977 with the latest for you to live a healthier, longer life. Get the latest free life-changing information for you at healthandlife.org.
It's time to elevate your expectations of what luxury waterfront living can be. Water Club North Palm Beach. In the heart of everything you love about the Palm Beaches. Unmatched views in every direction. Unrivaled amenities. Private club living on the water's edge. Water Club North Palm Beach, presented by Coulter. Visit our sales gallery just south of PGA Boulevard on US 1.
This Sunday, one man's trash. This is perfect. Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Here we are taking a live look at Baltimore, Maryland, where right now we're sitting in the lower 40s. One of the spots that may be impacted by Winter Storm Ultima. We'll be talking about some accumulating snow, so we'll have to watch you very, very closely. In fact, here is your forecast as we head through tomorrow, starting out in the morning with a bit of rain, but then we mix in some snow, and then there'll be a period there for the rush hour, getting into the early afternoon where it'll be mostly snow before we switch back over to the liquid rain. Temperatures, you can see all the way through, will be above freezing, so that'll be a good thing for us. Help to really limit the accumulations as well as help to limit the issues on the roadways. So through tomorrow afternoon, there is the snow accumulation forecast in Baltimore. 2 inches there for you in the city, but you notice you head to the north and west, you can see a little bit more than that, getting up to 5 inches, but doesn't take you too far south to get into no accumulation around Annapolis. We're talking the Big Goose Egg there expected for you. So a lot of things to watch here for us across the Mid-Atlantic, and of course we're going to be watching this activity spread its way northward into parts of the Northeast. So let's bring it back now to the lab. Joined now by storm specialist Carl Parker. And Carl, another winter storm to track. This time it is the U name.
Yeah, you know, it's really tough to get a lot of impact from snowstorms at this time of the year, and that has a lot to do with where we are in terms of the season and the sunshine that's coming down. So here's a look at winter, and what happens, of course, in winter is that the Earth's axis is tilted away from the sun, so we get more sun in the southern hemisphere. So when we have snow, there's not a lot of insulation coming in to melt that snow. But what happens at the equinox, which is where we are now, is that we get equal amounts of sunlight in the northern and southern hemispheres. So there's more radiation coming in, and as a result, it more quickly melts any snow that's on the ground, especially when it's coming in contact with a so-called black body, which is like asphalt or something like that. So that's why we think the roads are probably going to be in pretty good shape tomorrow for the most part, unless we get really heavy snowfall rates. Now, I also want to tell you a bit about the pattern, because it's kind of amazing that we continue to see this pattern where you've got that ridge that wants to continue to come back up into western North America, and as it does so, you've got the dip in the jet stream in the east, and so even going into late next week, we've still got more cold on the way there. It just won't stop. In the Northeast, it just will not stop. It's crazy. So that's what we have to look forward to. But in the meantime, you've got snow coming in tomorrow morning in D.C. Notice temperatures are very mild, so the road temperatures in a lot of cases across the Mid-Atlantic region, in particular around Philly and D.C., are in the 40s and 50s. So we're starting out with warmer roads. Then you're going to have actual air temperatures in the upper 30s in D.C., which is most likely going to mean wet roads, again, unless you get really hefty snowfall rates. That can overwhelm all that and can get a slushy accumulation. Now, it will be a different story in Pennsylvania, where it will be colder and especially up in elevation, and that's where the roads could be a lot nastier. Then we're going to watch that snow move into Philly late in the morning, changes over to rain there in D.C. Snow is ongoing across a lot of the Keystone State. We find more snow and some heavier snowfall rates there in the afternoon in eastern Pennsylvania. Snow getting into New York City, so obviously the timing's not good, but again, you've got temperatures that are above freezing. You've got that sun very high in the sky, even through the clouds, working on those roads, and that's going to help things out. And then finally, it all begins to wind down by tomorrow night. So all told, what we're thinking is a pretty large area of 3 to 5 inches with pockets of 5 to 8. Now, that does not mean that that is necessarily what you're going to see on the ground, because it's going to be melting even as it's coming down. So what you see on the ground is probably not going to be near that amount, but it's still going to be enough to cause some problems, especially there in central Pennsylvania. So here again is D.C., and we're expecting everything to be north and west of 95. Not much there in PG County. And the timing in D.C., it's going to be tomorrow morning, temperatures in the upper 30s. And then as we take you farther northward and take a look at the Philly metro, it's going to be about 4 to 5 inches there, a little more up into Reading and Allentown. And in the New York City metro and the tri-state area, it's going to be about 4 to 5 once again, and a little bit less. And then finally up into Boston, not much snow at all. So finally, how about that? We get a break there in Boston.
Oh, my goodness. They deserve it.
They do.
Whew. All right. Well, thank you so much, Carl. We appreciate it. Of course, spring is tomorrow. Not going to feel like it here in parts of the Northeast. Kim?
All right, thanks, you guys. Well, nothing out of this world here, just a whole lot of snow in the central west region of China. The snow, well, standstills on the highways, leaving hundreds of people stuck. At times, visibility on the road was even... Wow. Now we have one more thing to tell you about tonight, and that's coming up right after your local on the 8th. Be safe out there tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow evening.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible early. Partly cloudy, low 68. Friday, mainly clear, high 89. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back as we track the rain moving its way through parts of the Ohio Valley and sections of Virginia, the Carolinas as well. Now, this is all rain in these areas, but as it moves its way north, different story. We actually have some winter alerts, advisories, and even winter storm warnings here, parts of Pennsylvania into western Maryland. And you're looking, it's all rain to the south, while the air mass in these areas much colder. So that's why as that precipitation moves in, it'll come down in the form of either rain and snow or all snow. So early morning now, we're starting to see that spreading its way through parts of the mid-Atlantic, working through the late morning, Philadelphia, New York City by the afternoon, and then trying to spread its way up closer to the Boston area, although it looks like Boston, you'll be lucking out this time around in terms of accumulating snow. Should remain well to your south. We're talking about 5 to 8 possible. PA, Pennsylvania, you'll be in that zone, but a widespread 3 to 5 will be possible as well heading through tomorrow. So be careful out there trying to travel. Could be a little slick.
The power of Mother Nature's elements.
Oh my God!
Unleashed and captured on tape. For the first time, leading scientists dissect shocking video.
What we have is an explosive charge. When it detonates, the blast wave traverses the table surface.
As they reveal the awesome power of all 4 elements. Moment by moment, disaster by disaster. On this episode, a warehouse is ablaze. Loaded with 300 tons of pyrotechnic explosives. Then,
the intakes are getting ready to ramp up at mill power, which is full power. It makes it very, very dangerous.
As fighter jets launch, a sailor is instantly inhaled by the engine. A massive earthquake rocks the sea floor. And a wall of water takes dead aim. Plus, this skier loves the Montana powder until...
You are putting into motion probably 5,000 tons of snow moving down slope at 50 to 60 miles per hour.
You may have seen these amazing videos before, but now they're analyzed in a whole new scientific way. And meet the people who survived against all odds, against the elements. The blaze at this fireworks warehouse begins small. But it's only a hint of what is to come in the city of Kolding, Denmark. As a series of massive explosions leaves firefighters stunned and sends terrified citizens running for cover. At the center of it all is 30-year-old firefighter Morten Hedegaard. It's only his third day on the job, and today is his birthday. At their home near the factory, his young pregnant wife will be his last.
He sounded afraid, more than I have never heard him like that before.
The blaze begins at the NP Johnson Fireworks warehouse after workers accidentally dropped a crate of highly combustible rockets, a mass explosion hazard.
If one of the articles within that box is ignited, the whole box will ignite at once or explode at once.
William Ridley of the Canadian Explosive Research Lab says many pyrotechnic compositions, especially involving aluminum and perchlorates, are highly sensitive to friction and impact.
If you have a composition which is exposed and there's a buildup of static electricity either on a person or on a large object, there could be a discharge, which is basically a high temperature arc, and that could ignite the explosive as well.
The fireworks are stored in cardboard boxes stacked floor to ceiling inside the 40-foot container. As one worker hands a box of rockets to another, it slips and falls, hitting a pallet below. The impact ignites a foot-long spark and an immediate explosion. Now it's a chain reaction as fireworks blast out of the first container and into another one located just 3 feet away, igniting boxes inside.
The burst charge within a fireworks shell projects the burning stars outwards. If you can imagine these stars, they're burning 1,500 degrees Celsius, really hot.
First responders arrive on the scene and begin cooling the blaze. But 30 minutes later, the second container explodes, tragically killing one firefighter. For Chief Ole Hauptmann, it's a situation spinning rapidly out of control.
Fordi selvfølgelig det går så stærkt.
Everything is chaos at that moment. We can't see a thing. It's an inferno of fireworks.
NP Johnson is the largest fireworks company in Denmark, surrounded by homes as close as 40 feet. The 30,000 square foot facility houses 9 separate warehouses and over 300 tons of explosives. With the heat reaching up to 1,500 degrees, entire crates of fireworks could go off at once, creating enormous explosions. It's called overpressure, as seen here in time-release video of a fireworks test blast by the Canadian Explosives Research Lab. A wave of energy called a shock front emanates from the explosion. This shock front is the result of an instantaneous release of heat and moving detonation products trying to displace the air. Since the air does not move fast enough, it is compressed. As the compressed region moves outward, it causes massive destruction, throwing fragments in all directions for hundreds of yards.
This overpressure causes extreme damage to structures and to individuals, and it's critical for people to be outside of that blast radius.
The mother lode of explosives. A huge warehouse packed with fireworks is less than 20 yards from the gathering flames. Chief Hauptmann decides to pull his men out, contain the edges of the fire, and hope for the best.
We know that at some point this is going to spread and end in an intense explosion in the last of the warehouses.
The N.P. Johnson factory is fully loaded, holding over 300 tons of fireworks in several 40-foot-long containers and larger warehouses. Dr. John Conkling, former director of the American Pyrotechnics Association, says storage is critical.
As the quantity of fireworks get larger, the required separation distance gets larger. There were residences in Denmark that were almost abutting the storage magazines. They were much, much, much too close.
The ingredient that gives fireworks their brilliance and bang is flash powder, about 1/2 the strength of TNT, burning at 1,500 degrees.
It's a mixture of potassium perchlorate with magnesium or aluminum with a metal powder fuel. This will burn over 1,000 degrees hotter than black powder will, and it'll burn much, much faster.